Hi, I'm Gary. Let's talk about Nietzsche. And I'm Ron.
Are you enjoying your pie, sir?
All pie's good pie. It's like a metaphor. It's a nutty, broad gag comedy with sketches. No, it's a steamy romance. But wait, are those noir elements I see with that Jasper character and the wild conclusion? How's it all fit together? Must be Linklater. This is Netflix's new Glen Powell smash, Hitman. Richard Linklater makes, hangout movies, man. From the jump. His very first flick, Slacker, about dudes just listening to tunes and philosophizing about existence in rural Texas. Then, Dazed and Confused is like the example par excellence of that. The Before films, and even Boyhood. At their best, they're just well-written, episodic movies that focus more on characters and conversations than plot. Somehow, in Hitman, we've got this crazy farce with gritty genre elements, yet it's all cozy and just ambling along like a hangout movie. But here, the difference is, it's almost like Richard is trying out his best Soderbergh impersonation. Because this plot, even the feel and rhythms of the film, morphs and shifts throughout. It always keeps us guessing and on our toes. Add in whole helpings of sexy charisma alongside this seedy side story, and the film it honestly reminded me the most of was out of sight. This one is pretty rich thematically too. It asks us questions about identity and performance. What if yourself is merely a construction? Are you then stuck as who you are? Or if you don't like your life, can you change it? Can you become someone new? Hitman goes into whether we're the authors of our own destiny in the wildest of ways. Through basically first a series of vignettes where Glen Powell is playing dress-up characters trying to catch people ordering hits. Then, in his main life, when he's not moonlighting undercover as a professor of philosophy and psychology. What's so brilliant is he's posing all of these headier concepts in the classroom that he's then learning in real life. As he's finding this stuff in him that he didn't know he had. It gets unlocked and then he essentially becomes a new person. There are so many different ways you can go about praising this one. Above all, I just couldn't get over how freaking smart it was. Linklater and Powell co-wrote the script and it is just so clever and witty. It drops us into this world which it then begins slowly flipping on its head sequence after sequence. Linklater even uses a montage of old Hitman movies and lone gunmen to undercut the very idea of the profession. The Hitman is super watchable. It's full of great moments and some of the very best scenes of the entire year. The film is episodic, so it may feel at times like it doesn't have much narrative momentum. But the scenes are so full of goofy costumes and voice gags, including a total Patrick Bateman rip from American Psycho, that we're always engaged. Before we know it, we realize we're not just in a broad comedy. We're fully engulfed in a twisty, prurient rom-com thriller. Finally, as I said, Glen Powell produced and co-wrote here. I don't know what else to say. This dude is just a movie star. He's front and center in a film finally, and he takes full advantage. The chemistry he has with Adria Arjona also never disappoints. In this way, Hitman is a throwback to older films with a decent budget that just rely on marquee star power. Except, everyone watched this one at home on Netflix. I don't have a lot of complaints for this one. Hitman is smart, sexy fun, walking the edge of that line between silly and dangerous just enough. I mean, sure, you can say that the action is played pretty safe here, and it's not doing a ton of new things. The cops in charge in this film are also just really ineffective, and some of the circumstances and meetups are more than just a little coincidental. I mean, have you seen a weirder meet cute? But I think that's the inside joke. The film just takes some pot shots at investigative police work. It's like a lark. I mean, real surveillance has gotta be more effective than this. Beyond that, I'll just say, I didn't totally love the epilogue. Did we need it? I get it. It sort of continues the subversion that the filmmaker has been after all along, forcing us on our own to confront the moral quandaries that the film has been raising. I'm speaking in abstractions because my producer hates spoilers. But I think if you cut it at the end of the last sequence at Madison's house, where you get this tremendous in focus, out of focus, things in the foreground and the background in a series of shots, it is sleek as hell. Makes the noir elements pop and pretty much gets us to exactly the same place. So, what do we conclude? Hitman is a genre-blending triumph from director Richard Linklater and Glenn Powell that balances romance, comedy, and shadowy elements. Powell shines in this almost dual role, delivering a performance that is both winning and multifaceted, while the script is sharp and witty, constantly keeping the viewer guessing, as it builds to a satisfying, if surprising, finale. The film's exploration of identity and destiny, coupled with its engaging episodic structure, make for a blast of a date night. In the end, Hitman remains one of the slyest and most sheerly entertaining of Richard Linklater's career. Well, there you have it. The only thing left to discuss is our rating for this picture. FOF gives Hitman 4.1 out of 5 stars. If you enjoyed this review, please let us know by giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. Also, don't forget to visit FurmanOnFilm.com for even more movie content. Thanks for watching. I'm Nick Furman. This is Furman on Film. Stay firm, my friends.